This should be entertaining.
Hello, denizens of Top Guys Podcast. Normally we do a thing where we're just sitting around and we're being three dickheads doing dickhead things. This week's going to be a little bit different. For those of you who remember, who are of a certain age, back in the 70s and 80s, they used to do things called a very special episode, where they would focus on topics and somebody would try and get an Emmy. We're not trying to get any Emmys. We are just simply talking.
Wouldn't mind a streaming.
Yeah, what do you call? Yeah, one of them things. Whatever that is, I'm gonna act like I know what that is. But this week we are going to be tackling a topic that is very near and dear to our hearts, and also give you the secret origin of why we are podcasting again. This week we're going to be talking about mental health. And this is something that has become very, very, very dear to my heart, and something that I have, well, there's been a lot going on, but we're going to get to that. So this week it's the usual top guys. It is Chris Scott.
Hello.
And it is Omar.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk a little bit about why we're back now. Because everybody who listens to this thing, it wasn't like Joe Biden was like, why the hell did the top guys break up? Like that wasn't a thing. Why don't we talk a little bit about how we got back together and the why we kind of took a almost 3-year break.
It was almost a 3-year break. Yeah, it's
sabbatical.
Absolutely.
Sabbatical. That's a good word for that.
Yes.
A hiatus.
Exactly. A hiatus. So who wants to start?
Shoot, I can jump in. I'm trying to think. You said about almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was close to 3 years ago.
Now, there's what I love about this is that, Devon, you and I have talked about this, and you will take a position where you were like, nah, it was me. And I'm like, nah, man, it was me. And so it's what I love about that is that we both, were trying to take responsibility for the falling out that we had, around that time. And that was what stopped us from recording. But I will tell y'all, it was mostly me. So I'm going to say this, like, if you want to share it with me, that's fine. But it was me, and I'll get into it. We were talking about around that time, Masters of the Universe had come out. And
I believe it was Revelation.
Revelation.
It's
Revelation.
The
first half
of Revelation.
Yes.
The Kevin Smith one.
The Kevin Smith one. Which wild as it sounds, and I think we talked about this a little bit when we started back up. Like, he fixed it. But at the time, before I knew he was going to fix it, I was butthurt in my feelings about He-Man getting killed off. I was like, what is this?
The show is called He-Man.
Yeah, I was like, but He-Man, you attacked my childhood. Kevin Smith, why? Right. So I was there in that. And I remember it was this weird space where I didn't have an issue with a Tila show. I like thick thighs. I ain't mad at Tila getting a show.
They save lives, yeah.
They save lives, right?
Goodness gracious.
Chris is shaking his head like your dad would in disappointment.
Just
right. As he should.
More like your son.
Yeah, he's like, wait.
I am disappointed, Dad.
Right. So I remember at the time I wasn't like mad about the pivot that they did, but I was still butthurt that He-Man, and if anybody who knows me knows that He-Man is like my favorite cartoon from being a kid, and I had an expectation. That expectation was not met. I was salty about it. But you're in this space where you're like, well, I don't want to hate on the Tila show. But I feel like if I say anything, it's going to come off as hating on the Tila show. And I didn't want to be in that position on a podcast that would live in for eternity. It's just like forever. And so I was debating that. And what's wild is if I had just said in the episode we were planning to do literally what I just said, we would have been fine. But I panicked. And I know Devon wanted to do that episode. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that episode. And Devon was like, no, we doing that episode. And I was like, well, why you guys say it with your chest like that? Why you
did kind of put my chest in it. Yeah.
I was like, hey man, you ain't got to come at me like that. Listen, man, I know you whoop my ass, but you ain't got to say it. We can both just think it inside, right? And Devon was like, no, I need you to know that I can do this. And so we doing this episode. And I took all of that very personally. And it was at a point in time where I had not expressed, I didn't have the words to be able to properly express feelings in a way that was, okay, and I'll put it to you this way. You can be assertive without rage. And I had not learned that skill yet. What I was an internalizer. You pull that in, you don't say anything, you just kind of keep quiet to get along, and you're fine. Because the biggest fear that I had was, well, I don't want to lose. This is my man. We've been, shoot, man, Devon, how long I known you? Since we were 14?
Shoot, bro, we coming up on 40
years, right? You don't want to lose.
Goddamn He-Man.
Yeah, over He-Man. They ain't trying to do that, right? It's just, and didn't know how to handle it. And it was more, again, you can't, I don't want to say you can't, but as men, it's so terrible that we don't have a place to be vulnerable, particularly amongst each other. That had not been, in fact, it was this argument that established that for me and Devon. We came back stronger, from it. And then it became a thing, at least for me, where I didn't feel I had the right to ask y'all to pod again because I was the catalyst behind us not doing it because of that situation. And it was more embarrassment and shame. And Chris, thank God for you, because, you came in and was like, yeah, man, we can do it again. And once that happened, it was like, oh, thank God, because I wanted to do it again so badly. But I didn't know how to ask, right? And it's like, and I felt like I would have been disrespecting y'all to even bring it up. So that was where it was from my perspective. But it was one of those things, man, that I'm so grateful that it happened, because Devon, we was tight, but the bond now is just ridiculous. It's unbreakable, man.
No bull. I consider you my brother, man.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with Chris, even though he calls me Unc.
Definitely.
I got you, man.
Yeah, but no, it was you're absolutely right. We came back stronger, and I think that probably the break was necessary because, when we stopped podcasting, let's be honest, we were also in peak pandemic, and I think that we were all just stressed out.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was still having to go into work. And also at the time, this is some inside baseball. At the time I had a skin condition that literally was all over my body.
Oh, wow.
And
oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you knew about that.
No, man. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Literally it hurt to wear clothes at certain times.
Damn.
And I'm not even going to lie about it. I was super depressed over that because, the medication at the time also made me immunocompromised.
Yeah.
And we're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
And the job that I had, needed me. Well, didn't need, they wanted me to come back in. And so I was literally putting myself at risk. And so my anxiety was at an all-time high. Also, I just wasn't in a good place, to be honest.
Right.
Also, this was a new thing. I was having to inject myself in my stomach twice a week in order to suppress the symptoms, and that wasn't working very well.
Yeah.
Damn.
Was this an option? Like, was it stomach or leg?
And no, it was leg, but stomach was easier because I didn't have to move my stomach. So it was just a thing that I would do, and I was super stressed. I was just super stressed. So everything was like an offense to me at that point. And the thing that I really hate the most was that I couldn't hear people anymore. Like, I've always kind of prided myself on being a pretty good listener. But at that point, I just stopped hearing people. I'd stopped listening to people. So I think a lot of what happened was me just kind of lashing out, taking control where I could. So when it's like, hey, I don't want to do the He-Man thing, it's like, come on, bro, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. And it was just stupid, but it was where I was at. I have to own it. Like, you just absolutely have to own it. There's nothing you can do besides that. But I will say this. During that time, like I said, I was in kind of a rough mental place because the relationship I was in at the time wasn't the greatest. And eventually my partner decided to break up with me. And all within the space of like 2 weeks, I lost my partner. And it's a very hard thing to suddenly go from 5 years of loving someone to having to figure out how to be alone again. It's very hard. And again, that took me even lower. Because it really hurts when your head just costs you your whole heart.
Wow.
And yeah, it wasn't a great time. Also, Omar and I were still kind of beefing, and we hadn't even spoken for a while. Like, normally we check in just to be like, hey, what, you good, bro?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 or exchange some stupid memes.
You need groceries?
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It was like losing
like,
an arm. It literally was that.
Yeah.
It was that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I don't think there's a greater sign of love to me is exchanging stupid memes that anybody else would look at and go, what the hell is wrong with y'all? And we weren't even doing that.
Yeah.
And so literally I'm probably at the lowest I had probably been since my brother's passing. And I reached out to Omar, and, at this time he was protecting his own sanity. And so I couldn't get in touch with him, but I literally went to my last resort and I emailed him, and I literally just said, this is what's going on. And I'm really sorry for where we're at right now. And I understand why you're there, but right now I need my brother. I believe those are my words.
Those exact words.
Yeah. And you emailed me back and you said, give me a little bit and I'm on my way. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think I was at work. And after everything that had happened, I remember the time. We spent 4 hours on the phone.
Easy.
Just hashing shit out.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't let me leave until you knew I was good, because I think I scared you because you've known me close to 40 years, and you had never actually heard me cry.
Right. Like, you don't cry, man.
But
I'm still like, in fact, I blocked it out. Like, I don't even remember it because it just don't feel right. Like, no.
It
Yeah.
was a glitch.
Yeah, it was a glitch in the matrix. But I was low, and that was the first time that I felt like, even though it was still super new, it was like I didn't wreck everything. Like, it felt like I just, my worth was like pretty low at that point. So it just felt like I didn't wreck everything and there might be some coming back from this. It was the first life preserver I had seen on this like vast sea of just me and me alone. And, you know, I just really appreciate it. Love you both. Not even going to lie about that.
Facts.
We are lovable people.
We are.
Loud.
We are.
It's like Beyonce. You are Beyonce.
And so fast forward almost 3 years. I mean, we were all good.
Yeah.
We were all good, but we hadn't quite been in the same room together. I think that we had kind of made our apologies on separate platforms and, but literally one day, about, what was this, 2 months ago?
Mom said about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris's wife just looked at us because I was over at his place watching WrestleMania day 1. And she just looked at us like we were both stupid because we are. And she said, and I also happened to be texting Omar at the time. And she just looked at us and just said, when are you going to do the podcast again? And I just looked at Chris and I was like, I'm good. Let me text Omar. And I'm like, hey, Omar, I'm literally sitting right next to Chris. And he said he's good for the podcast. And it was like, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, we're back with like X-Men 97
exactly.
podcast. Renamed it from Omar the Barbarian to the Top Guys. And that's the secret origin of how you got the Top Guys back again. It was just that easy. It's like we had done all this, like, you know, like back in the day when Johnny Carson was on, he would, in order to fill up space, he would bring out some guy who would have like these plates that were sitting on sticks. And the guy would come in and he would just spin these plates and keep them all in motion. It was absolutely useless. But it was entertaining. And for about 3 years, we had just kind of been spinning these plates in the air. And it literally came down to a question: when are y'all going to do this again? 2 weeks later, we're doing it.
Yeah. You know what's wild?
So, thank your wife for me, Chris.
Yes.
Always.
First and foremost, thank
Always.
her. Yeah. I knew somewhere in the back of my mind, I always hoped that we would do it again. Because Devon, I would throw hints, Chris, at Devon. I would text him stats. Hey man, you know, we had 58 downloads this week, you know, on this. People still like, and I'm like, man, this is 3 years old.
Hint.
Yeah. It would be that. It'd be me asking without asking. Because
it would be like,
yeah. I wonder if
we got 58 downloads and we ain't done this in 3 years.
Devon would be like, that's great, man. That's great. Yeah. Good on you.
You aren't direct and you are avoidant. You needed me in the
We needed
middle
you in the
there
mix.
to be like,
Yeah.
hey, yes, let us do this action.
Yeah. Which is wild because it speaks to, again, all the mental health things. Like, Chris, I think you're blessed, man, to be in the generation that you are in because y'all don't have any issues with being who you are. But with Gen X, we weren't allowed to cry. You can't. We're not allowed to. You can't be vulnerable. I can't straight up tell Devon I want to do this again. I got to hint at it. And hope
older millennials like myself have to be secure in ourselves because all of our horrors are external. Because you know,
it's a great point.
Ice caps are melting. Old rich people are evil. It's a lot. Ain't gonna buy no house in my lifetime, probably, because you need money for that. Because you know they used to cost like an apple, and now they cost a whole person.
Yeah,
so
it costs a person now. Yeah,
yeah. No, it's not the easiest, but it requires you to be honest with yourself it requires you to just check in regularly with yourself. It's like, hey, where am I at right now? How many plates can I keep spinning? You know, my personal limit, 5. You know, I can operate dealing with 5 significant things at one time, you know, like whether that be an artistic project, you know, work, relationship management, you know, housekeeping, things like that. If any one thing gets out of balance, and it's like, okay, something needs to be set aside and I need to refocus. While you two were beefing, like that whole period of time, oh goodness, that was around 2021, I think.
Around there. Yeah.
Somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
In Chrisland, I start off January 2021, me and my wife, who is my best friend. She is wonderful. We are not together because we complete each other. We are together because we are complete people who choose to be together. We are both financially independent. We are very fortunate. Double income, no kids. Yes. We were in a rocky patch. You know, there was miscommunication. And in the midst of that, my mom is like, "Hey, I'm coming over today. 1, I ain't seen your apartment, and 2, we got to talk about some stuff." She comes over, she sees my apartment. First thing she says is, "Wow, this is just your room, but bigger. You need to fix that. You should fix that. You invite women over to this? You should fix that." And then she's like, "Hey, I'm going in for a biopsy." So
surprise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hooray. As a funny aside, your dumbass boy didn't know what the hell a biopsy really was and what it meant. I not understand the significance of that particular test until I looked it up. And it's like,
yeah.
So that began the rest of the year. I started working on myself because I had gone in for a physical, and the doctor was like, "Hey, ain't really nothing wrong with you. You're just a little bit too fat. You need to drop some of that, you know, not on no body shame stuff. It's just like, hey, for your frame, you carrying a bit too much. You drop some of this stomach stuff." I think I was 294 at the time. It's not good. And I ain't had nearly as much muscle as I do now to like kind of offset some of that.
Right.
It was not a good place. I was not mentally or physically, for obvious reasons. Throughout the rest of 2021, it was a work on me kind of thing. You know, I kind of told her, it's like, "Hey, you work on you, I work on me. We'll meet back up in the middle, and we'll square up." And to her credit, she did what she did. I did what I did. Got down to 250. Yes,
that's fantastic.
Discipline. Yeah. I'm not 250 right now. Do not clap. But yeah, we what followed in 2022 was a year of reconciliation.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of the best years. It was great. And throughout that beautiful thing was offset with the encroaching realization that I'm losing my mom. Like it's coming, you know?
Yeah.
You see the train in the distance and it looks like it's going real slow, but it is coming. And 2022 was just, yeah, you know, I think back, cause like I was there with her the whole time, right? Like I was every doctor appointment, everything I could, you know. I'll never feel like I was there enough before I had to be there all the time. You know?
Yeah.
There was there was subtle things, you know, I think about. It's like, hey, you should come clean the house. This was her in her boomer way. She was like, hey man,
I want to see
you ain't gonna have me for two, like, you gotta come on, man, engage. Right? So we go through 2022, beautiful, beautiful time, offset by, you know, sadness. 2023 starts. Probably one of the enduring memories of my time with my mom. She told me to come give her a haircut. And I did the full Bugs Bunny. You know, folded out the towel, put it around her shoulders, you know. She's like, do my hair like yours. Like, you want mohawk? Like, not quite a mohawk, but like, give me something cool. And I did. And that was nice. And then, you know, few months later, actually coming up on the anniversary when stuff had to shut down. You know, it's just bad stuff. She had to go to the hospital for an extended period of time, you know.
Right.
I was there with her. She was great spirits. I was, you know, holding on. But when she finally left, you two individually reached out. And that was very, very, very wonderful that you both did. To inside baseball, my wife is in the room on the couch bawling right now. You know, unfortunately, she too suffered a big loss to her family about a week after mine. So it was last summer sucked. It was not great. It was not great. But in that horror, we came together.
Right.
United front against the darkness, as it were. And like I said, you two, you reached out individually and were just like, hey, whatever you need. However, you know, you both said literally like the same thing. Like, I'm here for you. And it wasn't even about like the pod or nothing like that. You were here. And it's very wonderful. And I would like to think that, because I wasn't gonna broach the subject, because I'm the middle guy. This was Omar's podcast. Devon's my friend. You know, I'm not trying to get in the middle of that He-Man beef.
Understood.
Because me looking outside looking in, I'm like, I'm gonna fuck for real? You're about He-Man? He-Man? Like, let me tell you, I have
ain't no money involved.
Exactly, ain't no money involved. Like, that's what's crazy, man. Is that we would not fight over money, but He-Man, we absolutely would.
He-Man, dig in. We're on the hill.
Yeah, priority.
Leave my post. Yeah. And you know, that period of darkness was responsible for, I think, some of the brighter parts of my current day. Yeah.
No, absolutely understood.
Yeah,
like, to this day, like, you know, I meant what I said, man, and it still goes.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you need, man. Because
I could, you know, $100,000.
Oh, hook me
wait,
up.
Wait.
You know, like, this is gonna come off as like, oh, this is just one big group hug, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Is because I can actually empathize with you about being someone's caregiver. 10 years ago, my brother passed away from leukemia. And for, I guess for the better part of like 2 years, I had started to become his primary caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there for everything. And you talked about not knowing what a biopsy was. And I literally didn't know what hospice was.
Yeah.
Like his doctor told me that they were going to release him and send him to hospice. And my dumb ass didn't know that they were sending him home to die.
Yeah.
Literally 1 week from his leaving hospice, he was gone. And so, yeah, but also I'm going to tell you the moment when I knew that Chris was a good guy. We used to work together actually at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't remember that, believe it or not. You remember I told you this, like there was so much going on with me that I had actually blocked out so much of it
we didn't technically work together. I was just there all the time.
Okay, you were there all the time.
It was like a Doctor Who trade-off situation.
Okay,
your time ended, and then you regenerated.
That's right.
Into me.
It was like, okay, right. But I was telling him, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but Chris is an incredible artist / writer.
Facts.
/ comedian.
Yes.
Better artist than writer, I would.
You created a whole world that I'm actually very invested in.
Yes.
Trust me, my ego knows no bounds, but I try to play it down because no one wants to hear a megalomaniac. Continue, Devon.
And so my brother, we were the closest out of like the five of us. I'm one of five boys. I'm the oldest. Nick and I were the closest, and Nick was also a super duper comic book fan, and he, like me, created his own comics and created his own world and all this other stuff. And he had this one character that he was telling me about. And also at the time, due to his leukemia, he had actually lost his sight. So he couldn't really see the way that he used to. And I told Chris about this, and I was like, hey, I want to commission this thing for my brother so that he can see it. And before that, like, we had been told that he didn't have too much longer to live. Like, we were thinking that he was going to be gone within like a week or two, because we were actually told to say our goodbyes at one time. But thankfully, he had outlived the expectations and went on for about another, I want to say like 4 or 5 months. But it was very important to me that Nick got to see one of his characters come to life. And Chris turned it around super quick and came back to me, and I was able to go out to Baltimore. And my brother, if he wanted to see things, he literally had to put it almost up to his face. And I'm showing him Chris's drawing of this character that he's had in his mind for probably 20 years at that point. And he's looking at it with his one good eye. Well, it wasn't even a good eye, but the one eye he could see out of. And he's going over it, and then he goes, this is exactly what I saw her looking like.
Wow.
And it just, I mean, out of that really shitty time, that was one of the best times out of all of that. And it literally couldn't have happened without Chris. So I thank you, and I'm just super grateful for that.
That's beautiful, man.
Oh, that's a lot. Onions everywhere. Onions.
So yeah. Long story short, I'm knowing all the water that has gone under our bridges. We have, in the past 3 years, we've all experienced various forms of loss, but we've come back together in this very singular platform to just be okay again.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal to me. Because there's a lot going on in this world and everything is not okay.
It ain't.
And I think that's what the Top Guys podcast really comes down to. It is 30 to 45 to 1 hour of three really good friends trying to not just be okay, but at the end of it, I really think that we're all just trying to show you that we're okay. And in a weird way, I think that we're trying to extend some care out there.
Yeah.
I really do. Because for at least the time that we're doing the podcast, we're trying to put something in your ear that might bring some comfort. And at the end of the day, I think that's all of us anybody wants. It's just some kind of comfort. So that's what this podcast means to me. And I can't speak for y'all, but, going back to the mental health aspect of things, I really just want people to know that it is understood that everybody is fighting a battle. And part of how I am continuing my personal journey within this battle is to make sure that I'm talking to people, making sure that my intentions are clear, that I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm talking to my friends, I'm talking to my family. And I know that sometimes we're all kind of taught that, especially with being a Gen Xer, we're taught to just kind of go through it. But you don't have to go through it alone. Like, you don't have to be alone as you go through it. I can't remember where I saw it. It was probably Instagram, where like this guy, he was a UFC fighter and he had lost his friend due to suicide. And after he is done fighting his opponent, he said this thing where he said, if you're having problems, please reach out to somebody. And you could tell he missed his friend. Please reach out to somebody. Like, I just came back from my friend's funeral, and I would much rather sit there and listen to him cry on my shoulder all night than have to carry him to his final end. So just try and keep in mind. Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know everyone's situation. Nobody can. But if you're able, take a chance on yourself and your friend, and just say, and if they're a friend and you say, hey, I'm in a not so great place because I am 100% sure that friend would much rather, like that guy said, have you cry on the phone or on his shoulder all night than have you crying as you take that person to their end.
And if that person gives you shit about you reaching out to them,
that ain't your friend.
Ain't your friend.
Yeah.
That is an op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should
That's
be
an
dealt
op.
with accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't pray for the ops.
We don't. We pray for the ops downfall.
I know. We don't pray for the ops here. So yeah, I just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind.
not being a dickhead is a free action.
Facts.
Very much so.
Always. Took me a while to find that out, to understand that. To understand that I could still be me with a little bit of the bite turned down, you know? Just you don't what is there to prove? There's nothing to prove.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna die. Why
Fact.
not be as much of a nice person, not even like overly saccharine, you know, just I don't have any beef with you, person. Unless I do, there are at least 2 people on planet Earth who know that it is on site with my ass. Yeah. I will never, ever. There's none. If by some cosmic act of chance that those 2 jackasses are listening to this podcast, know that if I ever see you, the misunderstanding is as rich and vital and vibrant as it was the day you crossed me. I hate you, and I wish you nothing but the worst things. But you don't need to give that energy to other people. Like, you don't need...
It's fantastic. I love it.
We're literally spilling the tea here.
Chris coming in with that Nardo Wick energy. What the F is that?
Oh, man.
Step on the ops. Yeah.
I mean it too. Oh man, I will go to county that day.
All right, we are 41 minutes in this, so let's try and wrap it up because
can I piggyback off of one thing, Devon, that Chris said?
Sure. Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
So I love how you put it, how you were saying essentially, man, that there's you figure out what is most important, you know, in life. And that's where your value comes from. And the biggest thing for me with being blessed that, you know, have y'all to get to do this with y'all again, after everything that had gone down. It was real important to me that it be us and not Omar the Barbarian. And I'm thinking back to that time and I was desperately trying to find my worth. And I felt like if I had something like a pod or something like that, like, okay, if this gets successful, then I'll matter. And I've been trying this, man, with everything. Like, Chris, you doing 2 Ton Rock God, that's like literally living my dream. You know, I wanted to do something like that with characters, and it just never took off. It never got to where I wanted to be, even though I had some success, but it wasn't, you know, and so I'm desperately trying to find something like that. And it was like, I was rejecting what God was giving me. God's like, here are your brothers. Here's a pod. Here's something that you're going to get all kinds of joy out of. And I'm like, but I want to do these other things because it's not just me. And he's like, I know, fool. Here, this is what I'm trying to give you. This will mean more to you. And I couldn't see it and had to lose it to see it. And so to come back to this, it was, Devon, I can't remember if I was telling you this or not, but it means more to me to get to do this with you all now. I would not trade this for what I thought I needed 3 years ago. This is more valuable, man. It's like, it's the type of thing that you, if we never make a dime from it, I'm already paid simply by getting the fellowship with the 2 of you. And so I'm eternally grateful. So I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you all as well. It's just, I'm blessed.
Amen. But if somebody wants to pay us,
listen, I mean, we'll take the money.
We ain't going to block that blessing.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Not at all. Accept it. We're all using Sure mics. Hey, Sure.
Yeah.
Big Sure. If you want to throw your boys some love, totally acceptable. And Omar, I'm gonna pull the curtain back on 2 Ton for a minute. I do that at a loss.
What?
Yeah, man. That's love of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My joy comes from simply doing the work and seeing the look on people's faces that like love it.
Yeah.
I'm blessed enough that I have like my day job is what I do to get resources to live my life.
Right.
That is how I approach it. It's not my career. I honestly, the idea of a career has honestly just left my consciousness. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The thing that has been drilled into me by the universe over the past year is that all the external kind of stuff, like, no, that chasing glory, you know, like the glory that is defined by capitalist kind of ideals, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That mean nothing. It's because what are we really talking about here? And on the flip side of that, the whole like money can't buy happiness. Shut up. Shut up. That is propaganda put out by people who already got money that don't want you to go and get some kind of stable financial ground for yourself.
Right.
Because I ain't out here trying to. I don't want to be Scrooge McDuck.
Right.
If you catch enough luck to get into certain tax brackets, you know that that ain't it. There's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Somewhere it keeps moving because these people want us to be working until we're 75.
Fact.
But there is a sweet spot where you can just exist and do what you want to do and not have to worry about any of the other things. Now that don't mean you gotta, like slack off, still like we're talking about operating in a place of maintenance. That's the goal now. Me doing 2-ton, that's maintenance for my spirit. That's maintenance for me using my gift. Well, I don't want to say gift because I worked my ass off to get good at this, but I do at a certain level believe in like aptitude. Like when you start an RPG and it's like, hey, what are you first gonna spec into?
Right.
It doesn't define your whole journey, but it sort of gives you like a path to start out on, and then along the way you'll discover how that thing intersects with what you love, what you grow into loving, that kind of stuff. We're getting real philosophical on today.
No, man, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here with bated breath. Yeah, man, you cooking.
But yeah, it's just all of the things that I really held in high regard were shown to honestly just kind of be meaningless on a cosmic scale. It's there is no meaning of life. And that's not a bad thing because it means that the slate is blank, baby. You make the meaning. You getting up every day, doing what it is you do provides you meaning and purpose. It is what you make it. And unlike college, it didn't really cost nothing except, the knowledge of being existing. Hang on, words, they fail me right now because the smoothie is delicious. The only cost of existing is the knowledge that some people have it worse, some people have it better. You gotta individually square up with how you want to approach that. Do what you can to try and bring some light to others who are doing less good than you are. Maybe a little bit more in places if you can. But yeah, just be a nice fucking person.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah.
That's really what it
kind
comes
of boils
down
to that. Yeah. I love, Chris, that you
can see.
Oh, go ahead, Devon. I'm sorry.
No, if you can see Mr. Rogers doing that, maybe do that.
Do that. Try and aim for that.
Yeah.
I love, Chris, that your worth was settled long before you ever picked up a pencil to draw. Like you don't get your value out of that accomplishment. It's really a gift to everybody else. And that's a beautiful thing. It really, really is. Devon, man, I know that this. First of all, just thank you. You were the one that came up with this topic. You want to close us out in prayer, bro?
Sure.
You better not.
Please bless my brothers, fools. And fool 1 and fool 2. Oh boy, but no, seriously, to wrap this up,
Got my white usher gloves on. Please, this way
this way to Foolville. Yeah, so just to wrap this up, there's help out there. I know that therapy can be expensive. It is, because I've done it. Still doing it, as a matter of fact. There are numerous free resources out there for you that you can use. And I will actually put a lot of what I know onto our Instagram page, Top Guys Pod, on Instagram. So be on the lookout for that. And I also know that the use of therapy can kind of be a thorny thing, especially within religious communities. I'll just say that. But that also takes me back to this thing that someone said once, where a man, there was flooding and a man was sitting on his roof, and he cries out to God and he says, God, come get me. The waters are rising. A boat comes along and the man in the boat says, sir, get in the boat. We can take you to safety. And the man on the roof says, that's okay. God's got me. So a helicopter comes along and the man in the helicopter says, sir, get into the helicopter. We can take you to dry land. And the man goes, that's okay. God's got me. And the helicopter guy is like, are you sure? And the man on the roof, as the waters are rising, he says, sure, God's got me. The waters continue to rise. And the man shouts out to God and he says, God, why didn't you save me? And God answers back, well, I sent the boat and I sent the helicopter. What else did you need? The help that you need might not look like what you think it is. Why not use the tools that are available to you? And maybe accept that they might not come in the form that you're used to. Because I'm also fond of saying that prayer without work is a wish. So that said, there's no shame in needing help. There's absolutely no shame in it. And like I said, we will be putting some of the resources that I know of into the Top Guys Podcast Instagram page. That said, this has been really good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did this.
Yeah.
Just want you fellas to know that I honestly do love you. And let's not ever do what we did 3 years ago again.
Facts.
Who the hell is we?
Yeah, technically it wasn't Chris, but I like blaming Chris for it.
Exactly. No. Chris was innocent for the first time ever.
It really wasn't.
First time.
He said,
I got other shit going on. Y'all two figure this He-Man out.
All right. So that's another Top Guys podcast. If you would like,
Subscribe. 5-star review on Yelp.
Do a 5-star review on Yelp. Twirl.
Wherever you get your fine podcasts.
Yep. And we will see you again next week.
Take care. Be kind to each other.
All right. Bye.